So over the past 12 months, I've been using the Amex Gold Card, and although I think it's completely overrated, I'm planning on paying that $250 to renew it for a second year. So I'm gonna break down the pros and the cons of using the Amex Gold Card, why I think it's overrated, and why I plan on renewing it anyways. All right, so to kick it off, one of the first things I like about the Amex Gold Card has to be the 3 sign-up bonuses that American Express gives you for this card. The first and more standard bonus that you'll see for the Amex Gold is going to be for 60,000 points. But there are times like now where you have larger offers of 75,000 and in some cases targeted offers for 90,000 points. And at a standard point value of 1 cent per point, those 60,000 bonus points are going to be worth a minimum of $600 in travel, and a 90K bonus would be at least $900 in value. Now, although I wasn't able to get the 90,000 points offer, I was able to receive a bonus of 75,000 MR points after spending 4,000 in the first 6 months. But since that time, the spending requirement has increased to $6,000. When I got my sign-up bonus, I wasn't even aware of the offers that you can get on the Resi website. For example, there's a 75K offer that also comes with 20% back as statement credits for the purchases that you make at restaurants for those first 12 months up to $250. And considering the main strength of this card is for food spending, getting $250 back for doing just that makes it a breeze to earn. Plus, that $250 by itself would cover the first year's annual fee. Now, one of the things I don't like is when it comes to the sign-up bonus terms. That's because American Express has this once in a lifetime sign-up bonus rule, meaning you're only able to get 1 sign-up bonus per lifetime with the Gold Card. And yes, this even goes for the Platinum Card and some other Amex cards as well. And another thing that's important to keep in mind when it comes to that sign-up bonus is that American Express had included some card family language changes to the terms that if you had received a sign-up bonus from the Platinum Card, you won't be eligible to get a bonus with the Gold Card. Which means the best course of action would be to go for the Gold Card and get that sign-up bonus first, and then later you can get the Amex Platinum Card. Of course, only if that's a card that you plan on getting at some point in time. Even though you can get some really generous bonus offers, it's pretty lame to know that unless Amex decides to change this later on, or you come across an offer without that restrictive language in the terms, then it's kind of one and done once you get that bonus, unlike with other issuers like Chase. So if you plan to get the card, you should try to get the highest offer that you can to make the most out of that one-time bonus. The next reason why I plan to keep the Gold Card is that I really like the points earnings it offers. For example, you can get 4x points per dollar on dining at restaurants, 4x points per dollar at US supermarkets, and then 3x points per dollar on flights. For me, this card is primarily used for food and grocery spending. However, if you don't have a travel-focused credit card, then 3x points on flights is really nice to have. I think what makes this card stand out though is the 4x earnings on food. Considering groceries and dining out are among the top 3 biggest expenses for people, having a credit card that maximizes the returns on the spending is a wise choice. When it comes to my spending from supermarkets and eating out, the Gold Card earns me around 5,000 to 6,000 points or so a month, which is easily over 60,000 points a year. So this card plays a big role in my wallet. I'd say if you have a family, then chances are you're spending more than the typical person that's single, and the higher spend would allow you to get a lot more value from a card like this. And while you do have other good cards for earning on dining and 3x on groceries offered by Citi, or even Capital One with their Saver One card. But with the amount of points that I can get from the earnings on the Gold Card, together with that sign-up bonus and how much I value Amex points is a big reason why I chose to keep it. With that being said, depending on what your goals are with credit cards, I think the lack of valuable points redemption options is another thing to be considered. So you might be a little bit shocked if you're not familiar with Amex cards, but when it comes to cash back, you can redeem your points for statement credits at 0.6 cents per point. And this is one of the worst ways to redeem your points, and you should try to avoid this if you can, since you're basically reducing the value of your points in half. And for travel portal redemptions, for hotels, you're also going to take a hit, as this gives you a redemption value of 0.7 cents per point. But if you use your points towards flights, you will get a standard rate of 1 cent per point. But if you plan to transfer points out to the great travel partners that Amex has, this will be the most valuable option, as you can get well over 1 cent per point if you're willing to put the work in. Now, there are other low value ways to redeem with things like for shopping and retailers, but it's important to be aware of this difference in value so you can get the most out of the points that you earn. With other issuers like Chase, you have more flexibility since you're able to maintain more value with other redemption options, and depending on what you use your points for, this can be a big factor in what cards are worth it for you or not. As for me, I strictly focus on travel redemptions when it comes to Amex and getting the most value I can with my Amex points by transferring them out to transfer partners, so the other redemption values like cash back aren't important to me. Now, at this point, I've covered sign-up bonuses and the points earnings, but as many of you will know, Amex loves to reel us in with some pretty decent offers and partnerships, which leads me onto the third reason, Amex offers in Rakuten. If you're doing any shopping online or in-store, using this card is one way to save money, as you have a wide variety of retailers to choose from for discounts and cash back. I will admit it can be a little annoying to have to scroll through and manually select each offer that I want, but it's actually better this way since you know exactly what offers you have active and how soon you'll need to use them. The second part to this is earning membership reward points with Rakuten. This for me is a must-have because if there's any online shopping that you need to do, especially with big retailers, you're bound to have a cashback deal. And I like using this because instead of getting paid by check or through PayPal, I can choose to get paid with Amex reward points. So since 1% cashback is 1 point per dollar, 10% cashback gets me 10x points per dollar. And the best part is you can stack even more rewards by using another card for your purchase. For example, if you have a card that would get you 3% back, then you'd be getting those 3x points earnings on top of getting the 10x in Amex points from the Rakuten offer. Now, I'm not a huge shopper, but knowing that I can stack my Amex offers through other shopping portals, as well as use Rakuten with other cards and double up or even triple up with other promos, helps me to really stack up those points for the gold card. And speaking of getting the most value back, another reason I like this card is because of the credits it offers. One of the credits offered by the gold card is $120 in Uber credits, which is split into $10 per month that can be used for Uber or Uber Eats. And this works out well for me since I order food for pickup at least a couple times a month, so I don't even have to think about it. Plus, if you have a Capital One Saver One card, you'd have your Uber One membership covered until November, as well as you'd be earning 10% cash back. And with the Capital One Duo setup, that converts into 10x points for travel on my spending. But I'll link a video below that you can watch after to learn more about that. The second credit is a $120 credit for places like Grubhub, the Cheesecake Factory, Shake Shack, and a few others. But unlike the Uber credit, this one is a monthly statement credit. So to recap, the gold card comes with an annual fee of $250, and you have $240 worth of credits that can potentially give you an effective annual fee of just $10. However, I say potentially because this is assuming that you'd use all your credits every single month through your regular spending habits. The problem here is that while this is the easiest way to help recoup those annual fee costs, this should be a part of your regular spending habit, meaning you're not forcing yourself to use these credits now just because it's a perk of having the Amex Gold Card, but instead it's because you're already using Uber, Uber Eats, Grubhub, or the other partners before getting this card. So if you're unsure if your spending would justify it, then it wouldn't be a bad idea to take a look at your spending over the last few months to see if it aligns. Also, if you live in a smaller town, you may not even have the opportunity to get any sort of value from the credits, which would really be a pain to deal with, especially if you don't have a big enough spend on groceries and dining to earn enough points to easily offset the cost. Which to me, I think if your spending on groceries and dining is relatively low, because maybe you're single or whatever your situation might be, then I don't think you're going to be able to get the most out of the earnings that this card has, since it will take a lot longer to build up those points than a family of 4, for example. And on top of that, you'd still need to consider that $250 annual fee that's attached to it. So it's important to see where you stand, especially when there are a variety of other cards that you can get some solid earnings in for dining or grocery spending that don't have an annual fee. So those are, for the most part, all the main reasons why I chose to keep the gold card and why I think it can be overrated at times. All in all, I do think it holds a lot of great value, and depending on the person, I think the Amex Gold can be a solid card to have in your wallet, but like any card, you do need to know your spending habits and really understand your situation to know if you'd really be getting any value from the gold card or not. But if you have the gold card and you are or were thinking about getting it, let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.